Well, good morning and Happy New Year to you. My first official opportunity, at least for the morning, to say Happy 2024. I did come on live last night, and I hope you had a chance to watch that. Many of you did, because I saw a flurry of activity in my emails of people registering for the big giveaway, which we're going to do in the next 5 minutes. Our giveaway, not nearly as high as the Powerball, but there was a huge Powerball winner as well. In fact, Michigan, wow, congratulations to you, the Powerball winner and a bowl winner going to the national championship. So let's talk about all of that. We've got college football to talk about, Powerball. We're going to give you the forecast. I'm giving you the news you can use. And from a traffic standpoint, I don't know if they've wrapped it up yet, but within the last hour, Clayton was still closed just west of Kerrs Mill. There was an overnight fatal accident. So our thoughts and prayers out to the person or people involved in that accident. I believe a truck, some type of a trash truck or dump truck was involved in that. But Clayton Road still had some restrictions just west of Kerrs Mill. Now, for your forecast this morning, I would say exercise-wise, get out in the afternoon. It's not going to be too bad. I know, yes, 40, 45 degrees might be a little too much for some of you, but it's going to be much chillier, and we've got an interesting weather pattern coming this weekend. So for today, a mixture of clouds and sun, a high of 45. Tomorrow's high only 40, so it's going to feel much chillier. Still a little sunshine out there, hopefully more sun than clouds. 39 for your high as we get into closer to the end of the week, and then 45. But here's what you need to watch out for. We've got a chance for rain, maybe snow though, as this jet stream comes in a little faster. And as far as the temperature, it could be more snow or more rain. I'm going to shoot for hopefully more rain, but we'll see what happens. Did you enjoy the snow, by the way, a couple days after Christmas? We missed a white Christmas just by 2 days, but it was beautiful to see. Fortunately, not sticking to the ground, and it didn't cause a lot of issues, hopefully, on the roadways. But yes, I was looking at Chris Higgins from Fox 2, his forecast a couple days ago, or at least talking about it. He said, I'm not going to put it into a forecast vocabulary just yet, but he said, I want you to watch. And he was showing the jet stream, and he said 2 points for us to pay attention to. One was coming in right around the 3rd through the 5th, and then the other is the 9th through the 11th. So we've got another one that's going to be a watcher. So that's your forecast. Now, as far as Powerball, $845 million going to a winner in Michigan, about 60 miles outside of Detroit. So congratulations. Now it goes back to 20 million. And I told you that they were big winners because they also won. And did you watch the game? Michigan beat Alabama. And from a family of Auburn fans, we were so happy to see this down to the wire. What an incredible game it was. I was so scared that they were going to get a safety and that Alabama was going to turn and win. But 27-20 in overtime, Michigan beats Alabama in the Rose Bowl. And then in the evening, the Sugar Bowl. Congratulations to Washington beating Texas. So Washington and Michigan going to the national championship, and I was looking at the seeds. Boy, they nailed it. 1 seed was who? Michigan. 2 was Washington. And that's exactly what your national championship's going to look like. 6:30 p.m. next Monday night. That will be on ESPN. So congratulations to both of them. And my friend who does my hair, Sherry, her husband Larry, went to the Sugar Bowl. He actually went to Michigan. So I know he was thrilled in that stadium, which I was asking my husband, how many people are in that stadium? Well over 100,000, which was just incredible. Screaming fans, and what a cool thing that he and his mom were able to go to. So congratulations to all of you Michigan fans. All right, we have our own giveaway that we're going to be doing. I mentioned a $120 gift certificate that we're going to give to Christopher's in Kirkwood, and another $120 gift certificate that we're going to give to Mark Anthony's Gifts and Spa. Thank you, Mark and Michael, by the way, for giving those to us. That was our big announcement. We're picking 2 winners. Do we have names? We don't have names yet? All right, we're going to take a break. I am going to give these to you in this hour. So again, 2 giveaways, and thank you to all that have registered so far. We cut it off at midnight last night, and like I said, there was a flurry of activity of people that were signing up for that. So those are going to be our 2 big giveaways today. All right, college football, Powerball, our giveaways, forecast. We've done it all. Now to what today is about. We're going to talk about 2 things. One, resolutions. And I'm going to talk about that particular topic with both of my guests. Dr. Sara Franco from InVita Health and Wellness, and we're in the InVita Health and Wellness studios. And then we have Dr. Charles Willey from Innovare Health Advocates. He's going to talk about the resolution aspect of the 13 virtues from Benjamin Franklin. I had no idea how insightful Benjamin Franklin was. How have I been missing out on this all these years? I mean, we know about the lights and certainly electricity. But wow, those virtues are incredible. So we'll be talking about that. And then NAD plus. Do you know about it? I was just told that it's something that a lot of celebrities are doing. Selena Gomez, is that what you told me, Dr. Sara?
Yes.
Okay, so Selena Gomez and others, but do you even know what it is? I didn't, and that's why our experts are here, so that we can hear more about that NAD plus and resolutions, and then the 13 virtues of Benjamin Franklin, starting with number 4, which is resolution. Okay, that's the rundown of the show, and I'll be looking at comments from you as well. Happy New Year to each and every one of you. I'm going to take a break. We're going to see if we have our 2 big winners when we come back. Stay with us. InVita Health and Wellness, where you can feel your best both inside and out. InVita isn't your typical med spa. They're a multi-specialty medical spa and wellness center serving St. Louis and its surrounding areas. They have ketamine for mental health and pain, IV therapy, medical weight loss, and aesthetics treatments. As board-certified anesthesia providers, InVita can ensure that their advanced treatments are provided safely with minimal to no pain. So let InVita take care of you. Call 314-394-0950 to book an appointment or online InVitaHealthAndWellness.com. Welcome back. It is 7:07 and thrilled to have you with us. I'm your host, Monica Adams, The Real Monica Adams Show. And as I said, in our InVita Health and Wellness studios, let me officially say Happy New Year to my friend, Sara. Great to see you.
Great to see you as well.
If you are new to the show, and I know some of you are, because there were a ton of people last night that were signing up for our giveaway that we're going to do shortly, all these emails were coming in, all these people saying, that's where you are. I'm like, if you've been following me, how do you not see all my videos? But yes, so welcome to the show, by the way, and for all of you who have been with us for the last year in 2023, thank you. This is Dr. Sara Franco, our title sponsor and someone who's become a very dear friend of mine. She and her husband both. Did you have a good holiday?
We did. It was pretty low-key, so it was nice.
That's what my husband kept saying. People are asking us how it was, and he keeps saying, uneventful. And I'm like, no, it was great. He goes, no, Monica, that's a good thing.
Right.
Like, there's no drama.
Exactly, yes.
Well, good. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you as well.
So we want to talk about something that I had not heard of, but she said it's all over from a celebrity standpoint. It's kind of like when we first started talking about semaglutide and Ozempic and all the other ones that are out there. A lot of celebrities had jumped on that. Mm-hmm. People are losing weight. And actually, aren't we in a world now, Sara, where if someone drops a significant amount of weight, they all go, oh, yeah, they're on that.
Yeah, right. It's semaglutide. Yes,
whether it is or not, everyone's just going to say it is. So we're going to talk today about NAD+. What is that?
So it stands for nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. So it's a vital component to over 500 cellular functions in the body. Niacin is kind of the basis of it, but this particular, it's a coenzyme, so it's an oxidizer. It helps with free radicals, but it's replenishing the electrons or the energy part of the cell.
Okay, so before this, what would we have had that might have been comparable? Anything?
Well, so we're born with NAD. I mean, we have NAD in it's part of just about every cellular process in the body. So we generate it. There's 3 different if you want to get into biochemistry, there's 3 different ways of basically either making or maintaining this particular coenzyme. A lot of it is diet and things like that, but just like everything else, it seems like during, aging, alcohol use, drug use, poor eating, those kind of things, then as we get, mostly age, as we get older, those levels decline. They decline,
so then we need this to replenish that aspect in our body?
Yes, yep. It's basically telling the cells to not get old and die.
Oh.
So it's actually called the anti-aging coenzyme.
I was just going to say, is this the fountain of youth?
It is the fountain of youth drug, yes.
Wait a minute, breaking news. 7:10 in the morning on January 2nd, 2024, we have found the fountain of youth.
Yes.
No wonder why the celebrities are jumping on board.
Yeah.
So you said Selena Gomez. Who else is out there doing this?
Oh, the Kardashians have done it. There's a lot of athletes that actually do it too. It's not considered a performance enhancement, but it's known to increase stamina and things like that. So a lot of athletes, even pro athletes, will do it a day or two ahead of a big game.
So as soon as that is administered, is it automatic? Is it a day? How quickly are somebody feeling this?
It's crazy. So the benefits of it are felt probably within 24 hours. Okay. I would say probably the next day, much like most of our IV medications that we use. But you can, I actually do this drip one time a month. I haven't made it to the 1,000 milligrams yet. I've only made it to 500, but you can literally feel it as soon as it starts going into your body.
Like what? What are you feeling?
Well, I mean, we actually, so at InVita, we let the patients kind of control their drip. I have, if you get to 1,000 milligrams, it can take up to 4 hours in order to get in, but you feel kind of, you have this like overall warmth, flushing sensation. You can kind of get some heart palpitations, a little kind of rumbling in the gut. It's not an unpleasant thing, but you definitely do want to take it a little bit on the slower side.
If you're just tuning in, and I'm going to look at some comments here, we are talking with Dr. Sara Franco from InVita Health and Wellness, NAD+, and you just saw the slide. I've got a few other ones that talk about the benefits of it, and we're hearing about, and it's the Kardashians. I knew you were going to say the Kardashians, because it's always, the Kardashians are doing it. Okay, let's try this. So NAD+, and if you are wanting this for the fountain of youth aspect and to have more energy, some people have been doing other aspects of from an energy standpoint. And then you and I had talked about, well, let's talk about this, because that might be more of the transition aspect. Are there, besides feeling this right away, are there any side effects? Thank you, Michelle. She's giving me my winners, which you're going to want to know about in just a second. Are there any side effects to this?
There aren't any. I mean, as you're getting the infusion, like I mentioned, just kind of, sometimes a little bit of vague nausea, some flushing sensation. Other than that, there aren't any side effects. This is, again, naturally occurring in the body. So
how often would you be doing it?
There are lots of, it really depends on the protocol. So it's used a lot in drug and alcohol addiction, and we use it with with a couple of our ketamine patients, because it's been linked to anxiety, depression, mental clarity, those kind of things. But every 4 to 6 weeks on average is what most patients are doing. The IV infusion. You can also do a subcutaneous injection. You can take a pill. Of course, once you start to get to those other routes of administration, the bioavailability is going to differ just a little bit.
But if they're coming to InVita, you're doing it from the IV side?
We do either IV or a sub-Q shot.
Okay.
Just a shot.
So you talked about drug addiction, alcohol addiction, and when it comes to resolutions, which I do want to talk to you about a little bit today, those are two of the resolutions, besides, of course, the number one, which has to do with people wanting to lose weight, right? They want to get healthier. This is the year it's going to happen. And we see it break down. You were a nurse for so many years. You see obesity levels, childhood obesity levels that are astronomical. And we hope that it finally works. We hope that this is your year. And there's a lot of people out there like Sara and myself that can help you along with that. I love the fact that one of the things that Sara has forever said, and I know you're going to say it again now, that if someone's coming, let's say it's the semaglutide, it's not just, hey, let me have this, but let me have my lifestyle of drinking, eating horrible, I could care less about working out, and you just want this quick fix. You're not going to let them do that. You literally are going to sit down and consult them. We do all kinds of consultations. So, and we're always available if you have, questions or, comments or concerns or anything like that. But, everyone wants to know, am I going to turn around and put the weight back on? Am I going to get depressed again? Am I going to, are these feelings that we take care of, are they going to go away? They are if you make those changes. Right. But nothing is a magic pill. So it'll work in the interim, but you have to maintain those things. So with regard to the NAD+, so from a drug addiction, alcohol addiction, the mental health side of it, people looking at it from that standpoint. But if someone's not dealing with any of that, and you mentioned the anti-aging aspect, what would be the main reason, if we wipe those away, what would be the main reason that people are coming in for NAD+, if it's not trying to handle an addiction aspect or a mental health aspect? So I would say athletic performance, energy, and then just overall just wellness. I mean, it helps with hair and nails and weight and there's just a plethora of different things that it works with. So I like that first one, Sara. So we always talk about boosting cognition and protecting the brain, and people that maybe have a family member that had dementia or Alzheimer's. Would that help to? I mean, we can't right now. We're not in a world where we are saying that dementia and Alzheimer's has a cure. But if someone does have that in their family, can maybe we start this, or even a person who has dementia or Alzheimer's, would that help? Absolutely. So we're not really seeing there, and there's a lot of research articles that are out about it as well. We're not really seeing a reversal of the process, but definitely slowing down the process. Really? Yes. Okay.
So any kind of neurocognitive decline that you see, they're calling dementia the type 3 diabetes now, because it just affects so many aspects of the life. But definitely, Parkinson's, dementia, Alzheimer's, those all have a number of different studies that are out there that show that this is beneficial.
Okay, so from an energy standpoint, I know you do a lot of lab work, and I had a woman who was watching. I'm not sure if she's on yet. I'm going to look at some of these comments, but her name's Robin. She said, I'm calling you today because she's like, Monica, one of my resolutions is to find out what my deficiencies are, what my vitamin deficiencies are, what's going on. She's a nurse and has been in the healthcare field for a long, long time. You know what kind of energy you have to have in that respect. Yeah. And I said, well, you got to call Sarah. She's like, oh, I am on Tuesday. So she's expecting to call you today. But she was saying that, what does that all look like? What can you all find? So it depends, I guess, in the call or in the consultation, you've got to find out what is it that they're struggling with.
Right.
Or do you do the regular labs and then add on to labs?
Generally, yes. So we're going to check, a CBC and a BMP, which is going to check your electrolytes, the amount of red blood cells, the amount of white blood cells, those kind of things. But then we really just try to get to kind of the root of the problem, which is what functional medicine is based in. Maybe instead of just taking a pill for your blood pressure, which may be necessary, why don't we find out why you have high blood pressure? Why don't we find out why you can't make it through the meal without getting up and going to the bathroom? So we try to get to the root cause. So during the consultation, we'll ask, how are your energy levels? How much do you drink? How much do you exercise? Those kind of things. And then try to get to the root of why you might be feeling the way you're feeling.
Absolutely. All right, it's 7:17. I'm going to take a quick break. And we're talking about resolutions. We're talking about NAD+. If you have any comments or questions that you have for my guest, Sara Franco, let us know. I also just got our winners. So we've got 2 giveaways. This is exciting. $120 to one of you to Christopher's and $120 to another of you to Mark Anthony's Gifts and Spa in Kirkwood. We're going to announce our winners and have more about resolutions at NAD+. Anything you'd like to know about that InVita Health and Wellness can handle for you, let us know. I'll look at your comments when we return. Hi, it's Monica Adams. Thank you so much for following along with The Real Monica Adams Show since we launched back in March. But I wanted to let you know there's so much more that I could do with you, your business, your corporation. Did you know that I'm a motivational speaker all around the world, as well as an MC and an auctioneer? So if you have an event, maybe a nonprofit organization, and you want to book me, just shoot me an email, info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. Personal training, life coaching, and styling as well. info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. All right, welcome back, 7:18. Again, Happy New Year to each and every one of you. You're tuned into The Real Monica Adams Show, and I'm looking at our comments on my business page, our personal page. I don't always see those comments come in. So if you are watching right now on my personal page, which is Monica Adams Quentin, do me a favor and subscribe and follow my Monica Adams Journalist page, because a lot of people are like, hey, I'm commenting, but I don't see the response back. It's because I don't see my personal page comments. So come on over to the Monica Adams page, and for all of you on YouTube, welcome aboard. Make sure you follow on YouTube as well, and tell your family and friends that don't want to be on social media, Facebook, that they can watch us all the time on YouTube. All right, Sarah and I, drum roll please. The first $120 gift certificate to Mark Anthony's Gifts and Spa goes to Sandra Thomason. Congratulations, Sandra. What a way to start off the year. So enjoy your shopping. And then our second winner, $120 to Christopher's in Kirkwood. That goes to Karen Garner. Michelle, thank you for pulling those names for me, and congratulations. That's what we're going to do. More and more fun giveaways into the new year. So congratulations to you. All right. So someone said, it does sound like a miracle drug. We're talking about NAD+. Too bad insurance does not cover it. No kidding. But I can guarantee you, someone who has been in medicine for a long, long time and has seen that side, and then we look at traditional medicine, functional medicine, I can guarantee you, Sarah, you wish more and more of this type would be covered.
Oh,
do you think we're ever going to be there?
I don't know. It really depends on what they're talking about. We talk about ketamine being covered and things like that. There's just, unfortunately, there's just a lot of money in medicine and a lot of waste, and there's really no reason to reinvent some of these things. Like ketamine, it's a very old drug, very safe drug. So, we keep lobbying for it, we keep pushing for it, but But yeah,
It all depends on our government.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, I hope so. I hope that, well, you have to understand, for me, being in the health and wellness industry and being a director of wellness, for the gentleman who's going to be coming in about 15 minutes, I used to be his director of wellness. We fought and fought and fought and said, he has the same mindset. Yes, he is a doctor for 40 years, traditional medicine, but there's a lot of things that he's open-minded to say, well, yeah, this kind of thing would help. And I hope that someday that maybe 10, 15, 20 years from now, maybe we'll see advancements. I do see the advancement in the fact that chiropractic care is covered, right? That's not something that when I started in the business, this business 30 years ago, and I used to do health interviews, that was never. In fact, chiropractors were called, quote unquote,
witch doctors.
Yes, witch doctors. Quacks. And I was like, oh my gosh, no. I love what they do. Robin said, hello, I'm watching and I'm interested in getting my vitamin levels checked. So she'll be calling you today. Let's see. Sounds like a hot flash. Oh,
No, it does. It does. It's great. I'll have people sitting there. It's funny. We have a blanket and then we have a fan clipped on the IV pole because they'll be like hot and then they'll be cold and then they're hot. But at the end of the day, the next day you feel like $1 million. So.
Well, there we go. That's what we want. And I know Michelle's husband came into you and she's like, Monica, she goes, he came in and we're talking about levels for men and women that we've discussed in the past, testosterone, progesterone, estrogen, your vitamin deficiencies, things like that. All these things that as you're walking around, you want to feel your best self. He came into you and he was like, I felt something immediately. And he was getting ready to go off on a golf trip, I think. And he's like, yeah, I can't wait for this.
Yep.
So that's the thing, Sarah, that I think a lot of people that are just tuned in, they are walking around and realizing, oh, I don't have to feel like this. I don't have to be lethargic and low energy levels and not connected to my spouse or partner, whoever it is. I think that's the wake-up call. I came into you. Again, we're going to be transparent, and I this is what I want, is always to be real. We talked about my levels being really, really low. Oh, I do want to talk about that. So from an energy standpoint, if I came in and switched to NAD+, possibly, I did the vitamin B12 shot, and I was talking with her. So I'm glad Michelle had said it because I would have not known what the heck. So there's a possibility of people breaking out from vitamin B12. Is that correct?
There is. So they add beet juice to it. We can get a beet juice free, and I'm going to be completely transparent, and I don't know why they add the beet juice to it. But they add beet juice to a lot of the methylcobalamins and hydroxycobalamins. We choose methylcobalamin because there's such a large number of methylate, disruption in the Midwest. It seems MTHFR is one of the big ones, and they'll need methylated. So that's the active form of the drug. A lot of drugs that we give, they're inactive until they get into the body, and then they become active. With methylcobalamin, which is what we used for you, and what we use at the clinic generally, if there's not a problem allergy-wise, is the active form of B12, so that you get that you get that immediate response.
So it's the beet juice aspect that's causing the breakout?
That's generally what it is one of the additives.
So why would it make you break out? What is it in the body it's reacting to?
Well, anytime you have any kind of breakout like that, so you've been exposed to that previously and built up those antigens, or and created those antigens. So it's something that you've been exposed to in probably a detergent or some other kind of preservative or something like that. So, but we can get preservative free. So
it was crazy because my husband was like, "Oh, is that what it is?" Because I was fixing my hair and I had a breakout here, and then it was on my chest and on my back, and I'm like, "What is happening?"
Yeah, so I have like a localized reaction. So whenever I get my shot, I'll have like a little red area in the back. But if you're breaking out everywhere, then we need to switch to something different.
And so that's it. And that's how she would take care of you. And you have to do your part though, right? You have to be the person who finds your voice and says, "Hey, I know I was deficient in vitamin B12. I was. Vitamin D, I was. Testosterone, progesterone, estrogen, all those things. But I wouldn't want to go back and say, okay, let's do the shot again, and not say, hey, by the way, would there be a reason I had this breakout? Oh, and there's the aha of, yes, let's switch it, or let's change it around a little bit. When someone's coming, and I think this is a question that somebody had asked, if I find out that I have a deficiency, how often do I need to be coming in for my infusion, my shot, et cetera? I guess it depends on what it is.
Right. So if it's D or B12, we're able to take care of that in one visit if you want. And I explain that to patients, not who likes to get a shot, but like my B12 and my D, I break it up into twice a month because I kind of like that little energy boost that it gives me for the 2 or 3 days afterward. I mean, you're going to get that added value of the fact that, now you're sufficient in those levels, so you're going to have that energy anyway. But you do get a little bit of a take over the world feeling there for like 2 or 3 days after.
I'm the queen of the world.
Yeah, so I really kind of like that feeling, and I need it to keep going. So I do break those shots up into twice a month, but we can absolutely take care of it just monthly.
And let's talk about this, because some people might say, okay, great, I've been hearing you talk about it. It's time for me to come in. Make this part of a resolution to be healthier all over. Nutrition-wise, you've got to do your part. Working out, you got to do your part. So you can't just say, I'm going to have a shot, I'm going to have an injection, I don't have to do anything else. That is not true, because the way to not have the weight come back on, the way to be mentally clear, the way to have positivity in your life is that you do your part. But when something's working against you, that's why you go in and see my friend. And I mentioned to Robin, I said, you're going to love Sara, you're going to love Jamie. The other resolution a lot of people make, and so I think you'll probably see a boost from Jamie and all the rest of the people, because it's not just Jamie that takes care of the skin, but it's to make sure that that is a part of your regimen as well. If you haven't had facials, you haven't been taking care of your skin, that has to be a part of your resolution as well, doesn't it? It should.
It absolutely does. And, I think you have to consider it an investment in yourself.
Yes.
So, everybody is always like, to your point, I wish insurance would cover it. Yep. I absolutely wish insurance would cover it. And we tell folks all the time, particularly like with the weight loss medication, we're like, if you can get your insurance to cover it, and you can find it, 100% go that direction, because it's a great drug for a lot of people. It's helping with a lot of comorbidities and things like that. So absolutely take care of it. But if you do more of a preventative standpoint instead of, instead of playing, catch up later on, you're actually investing in yourself now, then it'll end up costing you less in the long run.
And I don't think that's talked about enough. And I know anybody that is very big into health, nutrition, wellness, that we wish more of the discussions would be about, well, what about everybody that doesn't care about their health? What about all the obesity that's walking around? And then look at how we're feeding our children at home, in our schools, and the childhood obesity. It's the health, and what stress is put on the healthcare system.
Right.
That should be more of a topic that is not discussed, and it's just, it's almost as if it's just become a part of our life and we accept it, which those of us in the health industry, I don't accept that.
Right.
Because there's a strain on a healthcare system because of the fact that people choose to not have a healthy lifestyle.
Absolutely.
So we need more of that.
Absolutely.
But you do need maybe to have some assistance along with it. So yes, if you have been, I always want that as well. If you ever would want to join us, by the way, with Sara and myself, normally we do these on Mondays. So we're doing it today, obviously, since yesterday was the holiday. We're doing our Medical Monday Tuesday today. If you ever would like to be a part of the show, we can drop a link to you quickly, instantaneous actually. Michelle, who moderates for us, she would be able to drop you a link, and you might be able to jump on and say, hey, can I be a part of the show? I'd love to say what my experience has been at InVita, or I'd like to jump on and talk about this topic. We would love that. And I'd like for you to be real. You don't have to be all dialed up. You don't have to look great. Let's be the real aspect of you. So by the way, that's something new, that if you want to be part of our show while we're actually on live, let's do it. Otherwise, I've mentioned to Sara in the past to get some, like we did this great story on Gilbert. If you haven't seen it, look at Gilbert's story from last year. We talked about his ketamine experience. I'd love to feature different patients. We also did, why am I blanking on her name? The woman that we featured with the semaglutide.
Mary Ellen.
Yes, I thought I had it right. So yes, it's those type of things. I know a lot of times it's us, the experts, talking together, but then it's also a firsthand testimonial of someone whose lives have changed. And you have had many of those.
Right.
Right. Gilbert and Mary Ellen are just a couple. So any patients that would like to, please let us know as well. 729, from a resolution standpoint, did you make any?
I did. I try to keep it very simple, instead of having this giant resolution, just break it into small things. So I definitely want to be more present for my family, work on getting out there and doing things with my children, and water. I mean, that is definitely a weak point in my life. And I know. George asked me what I needed. I was like, I'll take a water, please. But just take better care of myself.
Yes. That's the biggest resolutions that we always hear. More water. And it's the fact that it starts out, and journaling, by the
Yes,
way.
yes.
I'm a big proponent of that. This is, we do have these now, by the way, and I know that at Christopher's in Kirkwood, he started carrying these. So Crystal Wyrick, by the way, thank you for making these for us. This was the old version. This is the second iteration of it. It's got this really nice soft cover. He's carrying those now, and I think soon we'll be carrying them on our own website so that you can order those to know your value. So to you, to Brandon, to your kids, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Thank you again for being a part of this show and your plethora of experience. And I'd like to see more and more and more of your patient stories because, again, you're doing incredible things. And I can't wait for Robin to meet her and Jamie and your entire staff. So thank you very much. Again, we greatly appreciate it. One more time, if you're just tuning in and you didn't hear, Sandra Thomason and Karen Garner, you're our big winners of the $120 gift cards. What a way to start off the new year. We're going to continue the resolution topic. We're going to talk with Dr. Charles Willey with Innovare Health Advocates and the virtues. Did you know about these 13 virtues?
I did not.
See? 13 virtues from Benjamin Franklin, and the number 4 virtue is resolution. So we might as well start there. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
All right, quick break. Dr. Charles Willey will be our guest when we return.
You are truly an incredible human being, and just what you're doing is so inspiring. This was really a cathartic experience for me. So I appreciate you, love you.
It's been an honor to not only just be here on set with you, but just to sit in your presence. You inspire everyone around you, from your motivational speaking to your podcast here, to just being the human that you are.
It's just such a joy to be able to see you at this point in your career. Really following your passion, fulfilling your dreams, and encouraging other people to do the same.
I feel that I've been missing out. I believe God places people like you in people's lives for a reason. You have definitely been a God wink for me.
All right, welcome back, 7:32. Isn't she awesome? I just love this segment. And again, welcome to all of you. I see a ton of new people on board as we are welcoming you in. We've been doing this since last year. And before I continue on with our resolutions, can I just say, look at this. Now, remember, I was telling you to keep an eye next to me over the last month and a half. This is from our friend Sarah at Wildflowers, which is in Lafayette. Look at that thing. It is called an amaryllis bulb, and it started as just a little bulb that was inside of that container. And I kept watching and watching and watching, and I was like, I don't see any change. I came in this morning and literally said, oh, wow, because I wasn't in here last week. I took Christmas to New Year's off. Look at this thing. So Sarah, thank you. That is stunningly beautiful. And what a way to kick off the new year. So Happy New Year again, 2024, to each and every one of you. I hope that you made your resolutions, and I hope you stuck to them, and that you didn't give up already in one day. That does happen, by the way. For those of us that have been in the personal training and fitness industry for a long time, here's what I've seen. 4 weeks, maybe 6, and then the gyms are wide open again, and the same people that you used to see at the gym, they're back at it. I hope that's not the case. I hope that this year we see more and more of you stick around. So yes, resolutions are what we're talking about. We talked a little bit about it with Dr. Sara Franco, with InVita. Now we flip to Innovare Health Advocates, and my friend and colleague, Dr. Charles Willey with Innovare Health Advocates. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year. Good morning.
Great to see you. Did you have a good holiday?
I did. The whole family was there.
Oh. Do you host it?
Well, we went to Colorado.
Oh, okay.
You know, these days you go where your kids are. So
Yes.
2 of them live in Colorado, and the 3 grandchildren are there. So that's where
Aw.
we went.
Congratulations on 3 grandchildren.
Yeah.
How old are they?
8, 6, and 5-6 months.
5-6 months.
Yeah,
Okay, congratulations.
a baby. Yeah.
So it was. A lot of people are saying pretty low key, uneventful. Yours, was it the same? Just kind of really great memories shared with family and just kind of calm, or were you rushing around?
Now, well, we were in one place,
Okay.
so we were all together.
Okay, good.
Lots of eating,
Yeah, that's why we all have resolutions to get the weight off.
some exercising. We went to a ski resort.
Oh,
Yeah.
you ski?
Yeah.
I didn't know this. Look,
Yeah.
he's so active.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you still do that. My mom skied with me, but it's been a long time ago, and she's like, I don't think I would get on skis again. She's just so afraid of breaking a bone and then
Yeah,
trying to
it's,
come back from that.
You can go pretty fast.
No, I know. So what kind of hills do you do?
Well, mostly following the 6 and 8 year old around. So,
Oh, okay. The bunny hills.
And I hadn't done it for 3 years, though I try to stay in some kind of shape. That's a little different muscle.
Oh, yeah. Sure you're not on the Black Diamonds?
Once.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Look at this guy. He's impressive.
Yeah, just to have creds for my sons. Right?
Creds.
Yeah.
He even has the lingo. Well, welcome aboard. We are talking about resolutions today. So did you make a resolution?
I'm doubling down
On?
on, I don't know. It's one of the reasons I still, one of the numerous reasons I'm still practicing. I'm 69,
Okay.
right? And some people say, when are you going to retire? And I said, well, nuts to that. I'm having fun. I'm being useful. I'll
Right.
keep going. But I got some things to fix. Healthcare is in a world of hurt, and I'm fixing it.
Yeah.
I'm a fixer, and I got another chance to make a big impact, and I'm working on that.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people did. I'm glad you've never said your age before, so I love the fact that you put that out there. A lot of people have asked, "Hey, I love this guy."
I'm sorry. Me and Jack Benny are still 39 years old. I shouldn't have said 69. I meant 39.
39. Okay, he's 39, everybody,
Yeah,
not 69.
that's right.
Rewind the tape. It's not true. 69, though, and people have asked before, if I switch and I would like for him to be my doctor, he's not going to retire, is he? Because I don't want that to happen. You're not retiring anytime soon.
At minimum 75, but not at an age. If you come to me and I'm repeating myself in the moment, then slap me and tell me to retire. If I'm forgetful.
Time, Doc.
Yeah, it's time, Doc.
It's time. So yes, if you are not familiar, and I know a lot of new people are on today, I'm looking at a lot of new names. Welcome aboard, by the way. Happy New Year to you, and I hope to see you every day at 7 a.m. right here on YouTube and on Facebook. This is Innovare Health Advocates. It's a completely different way than probably your primary care physician is taking care of you, and that's what we want. If you're getting good service from your doctor, fantastic, but we hear a lot of times that people don't have this type of doctor for them. There you go, InnovareHealth.com. 5 locations between Missouri and Illinois, so a location hopefully near you. And resolutions, people make them. You and I have been in the healthcare industry for a long time. You've been a doctor for 40 years. I've been a personal trainer, director of wellness, actually for Dr. Willey in the past. He was with Essence and with ESSA Healthcare. He opened up his own Innovare Health Advocates. We see resolutions, and the number one resolution is, I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to eat better. This is my year. It's going to stick. And it doesn't happen. You wanted to talk about, which, thank you, by the way, for introducing not only me, but my entire staff, my husband. Sarah just said, I never knew about these. So we're going to go through these virtues. I asked Jay, who works with Dr. Willey, and I said, are we going to do these over the next 13 weeks? He goes, well, I think that's a great idea. I think we should dig deep into this. And I said, okay, well, then let's start with number 4 of the 13 virtues from Benjamin Franklin. There they are. But we're going to do number 4 today, which happens to be resolution. Is this something that you've lived your life by? I didn't even know about these virtues.
Well, not precisely, but I have been a bit of a list maker and a goal maker, and try to stay with it, and write it down. And like I said before, it's I'm doubling down on what my focus is. And I think people who get on in life, are successful. You do it. You wake up every day thinking, okay, what's important? It's good to make a plan and have a goal.
Right.
So that's a bit what it's about. I was reading about Mr. Franklin, and I just noticed number 4, resolution. And these are his words: resolve to perform what you ought, and perform without fail what you resolve. So it's a focus. And he was a list maker. And here's a copy of his of his daily.
Yeah, we have this. If we can go to the
You have
slide.
this?
I do
Yeah.
have that. Yeah, because I was reading on, look, I do my research for you.
Good.
Can we go to the slide that shows Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? There it is. And,
Right.
he would do a black dot on each day I was reading.
That he got it done. And,
Yes.
And this one, I don't know if it'll show, but it's hours of the day. He's,
Hours too.
by hours of the day, he's tracking things he wanted to focus on. You know, the hours of the day are down the center, and his notes are on the side. So, and this fellow died in 1790. He was born in 1706. So this is 300 years ago.
That's fascinating.
And
to
quite
me.
an accomplished fellow.
You think? We'd be in the dark right now if it wasn't for him.
Yeah. So he learned to be a printer. You know, they had the printing press by then. He was a printer, made a living as a young man. Some of this stuff happened when he was in his 20s. Now, he actually died at age 83, but so that was a long, long life back then.
Would you know when he came up with the virtues? What age he was at?
In his 20s.
Really?
Yeah.
So I'm so thrilled that Dr. Willey introduced us to the virtues because I knew nothing about it. And as I started researching, I looked up at my husband and Dr. Willey, I literally said, "This sounds like my triangle of life theory." And he goes, "It really does, but my thing is just like the three aspects of focusing on mental and spiritual and physical." He would go through these, and that list that we showed from what I was reading, it would be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then all 13 of his virtues, which we're not going to go through all 13 today. We're just talking about resolution. But he would go through each one of those, Dr. Willey, and he would put a black dot on the ones that he was able to get through in the day. And then if he didn't go through all of them, then he would need better focus and would start again the next day, which is fascinating.
Yeah.
We need to follow him.
Keep track of it. Get a do-over.
Yeah.
You know, remind yourself. It's, you know, you have to get these things to a new habit.
Yeah.
Have them be automatic. There are a bunch of things you'll do habitually.
Yes.
And if you can be persistent enough, and in the beginning, track it and remind yourself. And, you know, and if you, depending on your close social circumstance, get people to remind you,
Right.
to nag you.
Well, and
Life is a team sport, so
it is, and we need people to have like accountability partners. We need our spouses to lift us up.
Yeah.
And I think the point that I hope you all listened to that Dr. Willey just said was, in those 13 virtues, if Benjamin Franklin didn't complete all of them, he didn't beat himself up, he didn't do the self-hatred, he had to get back on the horse the next day to say, all right, let me try better, let me do better.
Yeah, the only reason to look back is if it teaches you something.
I like this one. So this is a quote from him. "How few there are who have courage enough to own their faults or resolution enough to mend them." Yeah. And all of those are the things that we do, right? Lose weight, quit smoking, help others. And that has to do a lot with volunteerism. People want to do more, and what can I do? Volunteer. Get a better job. Maybe this is your year to say, I want a new job. Enjoy life more. Dr. Willey just said doubling down. More family time, Sarah said, right? We need to be more present. Reduce, reuse, recycle. So we want to be nicer to Mother Earth. Save money.
Can we have parties again?
No kidding. I'm so glad you said
party.
this. You want to come to my party?
Sure.
Okay, so I always
Will there be
love
dancing?
theme.
Can we
yes,
dance?
Yes, we will dance. My sister-in-law and my brother went on New Year's Eve to a Roaring 20s party, and I was so envious because I said, that is the themed party that I want to do for New Year's. I used to throw a luau. Every year, everybody knew that they would come to my luau.
Wow.
My husband's like, yeah, but that was the party you used to throw when you were single. How about we have a new one? And so my theme that I want to do is to start off with a Roaring 20s New Year's Eve party. So next year, no, sorry, it is already 2024. So this year in December, I want to throw a Roaring 20s party. What do you think would be your favorite themed party?
Themed party?
Yeah.
We used to have a lobster party.
Oh, what? Really?
Yeah.
Did you do like a big lobster boil and everything?
Boil, right.
I've done the...
doesn't take much.
The crawfish ones. A lot of people do those. Oh, I like this lobster one. Did you used to host them?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you need to bring that back, and I'll do the Roaring 20s.
Okay.
There's two parties. Can we have parties again? All right, if you're just tuning in, we are going to take a quick break. Dr. Charles Willey, Innovare Health Advocates, and again, I want you to think about taking better care of yourself and making sure that you are being taken care of by your healthcare provider. Because if you're not, then this is why I bring this gentleman in. It is to say, hey, maybe I need to switch my doctor, or maybe I need to talk to my parents and my grandparents. When we come back, I want to hear about the biggest resolutions that your patients make. And I know a lot of your patients are a little older, but I hope that they're still making resolutions, because it doesn't matter. As long as we're on earth, we need to be the best versions of ourselves. More with Dr. Charles Willey when we return. Think about this. When's the last time you called your doctor at 2 o'clock in the morning and he actually answered? Well, at Innovare Health Advocates, their patients are special. Their doctors, nurse practitioners, their care team care deeply about your health, your family, your work, and even your pet. Their clinicians are accessible and they lead your care in and out of the hospital. In fact, Dr. Charles Willey offers his cell phone number to his patients to ensure they can intervene early in your illness. They can provide care above and beyond, offering lab, x-ray, echocardiogram, and other treatments in their office. Innovare Health Advocates, with 5 locations on both sides of the river. Check them out, innovarehealth.com. Welcome back, 746. I also want to thank one of our sponsors, Kathy Kilo Peterson. And Kathy was actually talking with me and saying, hey, if people are being taken care of from their insurance standpoint, wonderful. But one of the things that I can do, even if they think they have the right agent, is to just do a quote and look at their policy. And that's what I love. She's even said, I'm not necessarily saying you have to switch, or maybe that you even will switch, but there might be some things in your current policy that you could change a little bit. So Kathy Kilo Peterson, call her today. Make that a resolution. 636-561-6460. That's the website, kkilo.com. And I just love that about her. Hopefully a lot of you did what she had recommended. Grandparents and parents buying the kids or the grandkids life insurance policies, dividend-rich life insurance policies as we headed into the holidays. So yeah, just let her look at your policy. And there might be some changes that need to be made, and actually you might want to have her be the one to take care of you. So Kathy, thank you so much for being a part of this show. And let me just say that, by the way, to each and every one of you, if you know someone that you would like to be a part of the show and aligns with our mission of positivity and helping the world, have them reach out to me at info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. If you're just tuned in, Dr. Charles Willey from Innovare Health Advocates, our guest, and we're talking about resolutions. And one of the women that wrote in, Dr. Willey, said, thank you for this. I agree. I joined a new gym with a friend. I need the accountability. We need to have that person to kind of there for us. She said, I checked out classes that they offer. I do better with the buddy system. And then she's doing dry January. Have you heard of dry January?
It's making me nervous already.
That just means that they're not drinking in January, right? Or some people do wet January. They'll do damp January. They'll do a little bit. They're doing a little bit better than they did at, maybe they were gluttonous over the holidays, ate and drank a little bit too much. So they try this, and they try to be dry for the month of January, and then try to maybe have a little bit less. I mentioned resolutions for the patients that you see. What's the biggest thing that you hear from them?
I think that they, whatever has their attention most, their medical problem, and often, I think I might have said here before, 50% of American healthcare problems are behavior. So, and diabetes and being overweight, are not sleeping well are 3 really common and pretty annoying, damaging issues. So, so focusing on them and becoming persistent about it, and many of these things are, diet and exercise, food. It's cultural. You got to change yourself and get the others around you to support that. Yeah. Because sometimes there's abject sabotage about it. Right. If you're living with someone who's likes the way they're eating, isn't focused. Maybe it's not even healthy for them, but that's the way they want to do it, especially if they're your grocery shopper or your chef.
But and I mentioned this.
You really have to change both.
You do. Or
And-
can you just do it a little bit? Because some people are not fans of change. So if it's a husband that's not eating well, or it's the wife that's not eating well, then the kids are watching it. You're their role models. And if you're not giving them a good model to follow after, then you're guilty. And I say it starts at home, and then for our kids, it then goes into into the educational system where they're eating at school. Those are all the things from a government standpoint that I wish would change. But you can't blame the kids that are super, super young for being obese. They're not going to the grocery store.
Yeah, that's right. And they're eating what's bought for them, and they're emulating. So
Right.
yeah, so that's a challenge, and it becomes a relationship challenge sometimes. But
Well, I think it's funny that sometimes grandparents are like, oh, I can be the fun one, and I'm just going to feed them whatever. And I'm like, yeah, but there's kind of an association there of, I go to grandma's house, grandpa's house. If you go there on a regular basis and you're always pushing, there's a psychological aspect of food pushing, right? It's this comfort thing. A little bit of it.
It reminds me, I visited a friend in high school. I went to high school in South St. Louis, and so I had some friends on the hill. And this fellow's name didn't sound Italian, but I don't know, we got there about 2 o'clock, and his mother, oh, here, have something. And I ate it, and cleaned my plate as I was taught.
Exactly.
Right. And she brought some more, and I cleaned it again, and she brought some more, and he leaned over and said, if you keep cleaning your plate, she'll keep bringing it.
Yeah, so leave some on there. Yeah, we all were taught that, weren't we?
So that's really a big deal, and it was a compliment in my neighborhood to ask for second and third helpings. Oh, he's a big healthy eater. And when I was young, I could eat the house and not gain weight, but I've really had to cut down. So you have to change those habits.
Right. I think, guys, my husband's one of these, and he's a patient of Dr. Willey's. He thinks it's fun to say, oh, I'm a big eater. We actually kind of just say it now, like, oh, Jim's a big eater. And I said, but it's not healthy to be like that. And especially when you're eating over a portion of meat, red meat, on a regular basis, right? And he doesn't do that on a regular basis anymore, but it used to be trying to break the mindset for men. I'm a meat and potatoes eater. And it's not just a small piece of meat. It's like it envelops the entire plate. That's dangerous.
Protein, I've named it the caveman diet.
Yep.
It's meat and vegetables, or chicken and vegetables, fish and vegetables, protein and vegetables. Even if it's soy, we talked about soy a bit, but the culprit is the starch. Avoid the carbohydrates like the plague.
Right. Well, there's carbohydrates that can be good fuel. Vegetables are carbohydrates, but we're talking about the starchy or the processed food, which to me is the biggest problem, the processed foods that's out there. Yeah. So resolutions, I'd like to hear from all of you that are watching right now. What are the resolutions that you have made? Feel free to put these into us. Kathy says, Benjamin Franklin's 13 virtues. Impressive, Dr. Willey. My word of the year is Explore 24. One of the ways I explore is researching and reading, so I will definitely check out the virtues. I was asking Dr. Willey at the break if you had heard of this. In the last year, for sure, I've seen more of this, that people are choosing one word for the year. So we started this. So on our little chalkboard, and Michelle, I left this on there when I came in last week. So hers is health, right? This is right along the lines of everything we talk about with Dr. Willey. I am thankful for health. I like doing a word of the day, but I understand whoever started this, they do a word of the year. So you pick a word at the very beginning of the year, and it's that word that you just focus. And we were talking about not beating yourself up. And if you fall off the horse, to get back on and to concentrate on that word again. Me personally, I just think we're always waking up a different way. I think a word does need to be chosen. So I've been writing in my book. I'm on my resolution 2 days in a row. I've made it so far. Yesterday, my word was discipline. Today, my word is non-judgmental. And that starts with ourselves, right? We wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, don't judge. Don't beat yourself up. Don't be so hate-filled to yourself, because then it kind of carries over to other people. Just trying to be better human beings.
Okay.
What about you? Pick
Only
a word
one
for
word?
me. One word.
One word. Well, then a word with then explanation, or a
so the word is it's an intentional word.
A subtext. So liberty.
Liberty.
Underlined by team. So individual liberty under the rule of law.
Okay.
So in liberty, you get the ability to do what you want, what you need, what you ought, right, in freedom. And it's up to you. It's not up to others. It's not some authority. Certainly not government.
Right.
But and it's a team sport. So
Yes.
so if you have a good team, everybody's doing their part, working together well, but have enough liberty to excel.
I like this.
So
Yeah, we can always start. I mean, that's the whole thing of journaling, and that's a big part. People say resolutions. I'm going to make a resolution to journal more. Obviously, that's why this is always in here. Is to write in those. Take your thoughts. There's a science behind taking it out of your brain and putting it down on paper. So, would you just write liberty? No, you would write that to inspire you to then continue to journal. I wrote non-judgmental and went into it a little bit more. It could be a couple sentences, or you go on and on and on. But the resolution, do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing to make New Year's resolutions?
oh, I think it's absolutely a good thing. Just don't just do it on January 1st.
Amen.
You know, do it all. You know, you're suggesting daily with your daily word. You know, do it frequently. Revisit it. Keep it focused. Stay with it, and adapt. You know, life is always changing, so you have to. You can't stay with one thing. You have to see what's happening and adjust.
Well, see, and I think that's why I'm not knocking the word of the year, but you just said it. It is always changing. And I think that's why I like a different intentional word each day. And then what happens is you go out, you're driving here to come to this interview with us. There's people out there with road rage, or you think you'll leave on time, and then all of a sudden an accident happens and it's pushing you back. You go back to that. The word it's an intentional word. So it's your intention in the morning, and then it's gratitude in the evening. So right before you go to bed, you write one more word. So there's 2 words in the day, and you just kind of keep trying to go back and focus on that. So if it's liberty, I got the liberty to be able to do this, but when I go into the office, I wouldn't be able to do this without my entire team. And it's a team, just like, you know, we were talking about the bowl games. Did you watch either the Sugar Bowl or the Rose Bowl?
I watched the Cotton Bowl.
They watched the Cotton Bowl, okay.
Mizzou.
Well, the Mizzou game was amazing as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
we watched that. But then yesterday, which normally I wouldn't, but I have a friend who's a big fan of Michigan, that game was incredible. But yes, you might have standout athletes that people remember, oh, the quarterback was great, or whatever. But it comes back that everyone on that field and everybody on the lines of coaching, the game couldn't have been won without everything leading up to that. And I think hopefully you all realize that and focus that it's not you, but it's everybody around you.
Yeah.
What's the biggest thing when you started looking into these virtues? Again, we were talking about Benjamin Franklin's 13 virtues, and we just started with the first, well, not the first one, but we started with resolution, which is the 4th one. When did you first know about these?
Oh, just in the last few weeks, actually.
Okay, good.
I was,
I thought I'd been missing out. I'm like, how does he know about all these?
Yeah.
13 virtues necessary for true success.
Yeah.
We went to number 4, but there they are, by the way. Temperance, silence, order, resolution, frugality, industry, sincerity, justice, moderation, cleanliness, tranquility, chastity, and humility. I want to go through these with you over the next several weeks, but I love the fact that we started with resolution. What an insightful human being Benjamin Franklin was.
Amazing.
I had no idea.
An amazing fellow. So he was an inventor. Some of his inventions, bifocals.
Oh, really?
Bifocal glasses. Wow. Another one that I just, in reviewing last night, a flexible bladder catheter.
Interesting.
Prior to that, they used a rigid steel tube to drain a troubled bladder. The lightning rod, and something called a Franklin stove. So back then everything was, wood burning in the fireplace, but he put a metal box in there that ventilated better, held the heat and distributed it, and he could cook on it. And most of the stuff he gave away. He made his money by something called, printing, and then Poor Richard's Almanac.
That's what my husband was saying. So he's like, Monica, he's behind that as well.
So that's kind of his thoughts, his journaling, his experience, and he published it with
the Poor Richard's Almanac.
Anecdotes.
If you've all heard of that, and many of you have not. But yes, so when I got the email from Jay, and he's like, he wants to talk about the 13 virtues, we're going to start with this one. I was like, I never knew about these. How did I not know about these? And then I started looking into some books that are recommended to kind of go into that a little bit deeper. I'm big into books, so I'm going to be looking up those. Which one do you want to do next? Let's go next week, because I like to forward promote for all of you. Which one would you want to go into? There they are, by the way. Franklin's 13 virtues. Which one sticks out to you? And whenever I have people pick a word, I always just say, don't overthink it. Just let it jump out and attach itself to you.
Yeah. Well, so let's pick one. I'd pick on myself. Order.
Order.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're always tying these also to the healthcare side, since
Yeah.
obviously this is what Dr. Willey does for a living. Take care of you, ask you to be your own advocate, and then they're going to be there for you. So what is your resolution to your patients this year?
Let's see.
Because every year I think we always want to be a better part of ourselves,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're an incredible doctor, but how could you go even another level?
Well, let's see. You said someone has wondered if I'll be around for
Yeah.
how long will I be practicing since I'm, Monica, I'm always the youngest person in the room. Age is an attitude, and I'm youthful, but
Well, he just said he's in his 30s.
39, me and Jack Benny, right? So I'm building a team. I'm creating Innovare to go on without me, right? And I have two good young doctors and 4 champion nurse practitioners, and so growing the team, growing the business, so it'll go on without us, which is why I'm here promoting.
Well, and I think
I could retire, but meh.
Well, but why? When you love what you do,
I'm having fun. I'm useful.
right?
The boss doesn't want me underfoot too much.
No, we want him around for a long, long time.
So,
Sandy says this year I'm walking. That in itself, because
Walking
there's a
is
lot of
wonderful.
your patients that can't do the crazy high impacts. Some can. Some are just such unbelievable inspiration for us. I showed a reel yesterday of my mother at 85 rowing, and she had. I said, I looked at it, I was like, oh, she's probably going to make it to a minute and a half, 2 minutes. It got to 3.5, and I said, how long are you going to go? And she goes, 5. I was like, okay. And it got to 4.5 minutes, and all of a sudden it was like another gear that she kicked
Yeah.
into. And at the end of it, I said, give us some words of inspiration. She goes, whatever you want to do. If it's walking, she's like, just do it.
It can be very simple. And, folks come to me and, oh, Doc, I can't exercise. I said, well, how'd you get here? I said, I drove. Where'd you park? Out in the lot. And how'd you get from there to here? They walked. 3 minutes, 5 minutes.
Right.
So I say, okay, I have the television rule. Have I talked about the television rule
No.
yet? You can watch TV, but not commercials. You got to get up and walk during every commercial.
Yes, love that.
2 to 5 minutes at a time, I guess. 20 minutes an hour. And by the way, fast forwarding through the commercials is cheating.
Yes, amen.
Get up and
Watch the
walk.
commercials. There's some
But you
good
can
things
walk
to be
2 or
found
3
there.
minutes. And if you did 20 minutes, if you watch 3 hours of TV, that's an hour of walking.
Right.
If you walk during every commercial
So
in little increments. And
he says for you to
almost
walk.
anybody can do that.
Almost anybody can do that. Help them out if not. You're the ones helping them at home. I used to say do a plank during the commercial breaks and keep trying to build up, because they're usually about 2.5, maybe 3 minutes. Trying to do a plank beyond 30 seconds for a lot of people is hard, but then you build up to 45 and then a minute, and then you try to hold a plank for the entire commercial break.
Yeah, and for your parents or grandparents, just some of them just standing up and sitting down during every commercial will preserve their ability to do that,
Right.
and that will preserve their independence. Keep them out of the nursing home.
I think he knows this. I used to train his seniors at Friendship Village in Sunset Hills, and one of the biggest things I taught them to do was exactly that. Get the strength here and in the core to get up out of the chair
Yeah.
and then back down. And they're like, is that the exercise? And I said, well, let's see you do it. Oh, wait, I can't get out. I'm like, I know. So we'd put a
Yeah.
bar in front of them or anything like that.
Yeah.
So Sandy said that she's walking. For the past year, she said, I walked in pain. Then I had a knee replacement. Now I'm pain-free. So festivals, parks, beach, wherever, I'm walking and counting blessings with each step.
Oh, goodness.
Right? The blessings.
I see people waiting on their joint replacements.
Yes.
Now, when let's see. I was going to say when we were kids. When I was a kid.
You still are. You're 39.
Yeah, that's right. In 1960, the average age of death for a man was 60, and for a woman, 65. It's now almost 80 and 85.
Wow.
And there's a bunch of reasons for that, but a big reason for it is joint replacement. Because back then they became arthritic, and they sat.
So you would tell them to do that earlier in
Get
life?
fat. Well, don't wait too long.
If they have to.
I have some folks in their 90s who, boy, I'd really like to replace their joints because that's the only thing keeping them down. So,
But that's
so
hard
good move,
right?
When it's time, and you'll know. If you go to a good doctor, he or she will say, well, when you're ready, talk about your knee, examine. Maybe they've injected it a couple of times. Take an X-ray. So I say, and I'm not the only physician to say it, but when you're ready to replace that knee, we're ready.
Right.
But
Don't wait till you're 70, 80, 90
don't
years old,
wait
because then
till
it's harder.
it's caused you to change your life.
Yeah.
Replace it so you can continue your active life.
Sure. So, and now this is good. Kathleen just said, I walk when I listen to your program, and the time goes by so fast. I was just going to ask you to do that. There are many people who will hop on the treadmill and then listen to the show.
Oh, good.
And they get everything going. They almost complete the triangle, or maybe they do just in 1 hour. They do the mental, physical, and spiritual side.
That's great.
All right, everybody. Oh, my sister just signed on. Hi, Cindy, and hi to my old friend at Fox 2, Angela Colson, great meteorologist. It's nice to see. There's tons and tons of new people coming to us. So I want you to know about him. Innovare Health Advocates, Dr. Charles Willey. There you go, InnovareHealth.com. On both sides of the river, find a location near you. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your parents, your grandparents that it is time for them to have a doctor that will take care of them. All right, you know how we end the show?
Well, let me just plug the bring your diagnostic dilemma.
Okay.
Stump the doctor. Let's call it Stump the Doctor.
Stump the Doctor.
Yeah.
I like it. We're going to change.
Yeah.
So we will have Medical Monday, Stump the Doctor, next Monday. Okay, so again, we're going to continue to go through the virtues, and you chose again for next Monday, not
Did
Tuesday.
I choose? Yeah, order.
Order, yes.
I did.
In case you forgot, I got
In case
it.
I forgot. That's right.
Which color? I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm just going to tell you to pick a color.
How about orange?
Orange, and that is depression. So for those of you that want to focus more on mental health and clarity and taking care of this cognitive side of it as well, right? Make sure you're taking care of the brain. 100 Days to Freedom from Depression, the very first one of 2024. That's how we'll wrap up the show when we return. InVita Health and Wellness, where you can feel your best both inside and out. InVita isn't your typical med spa. They're a multi-specialty medical spa and wellness center serving St. Louis and its surrounding areas. They have ketamine for mental health and pain, IV therapy, medical weight loss, and aesthetics treatments. As board-certified anesthesia providers, InVita can ensure that their advanced treatments are provided safely with minimal to no pain. So let InVita take care of you. Call 314-394-0950 to book an appointment or online InVitaHealthAndWellness.com. Welcome back as we are wrapping up the show. If you're just tuning in, it's okay. I see a lot of people just coming on this morning. That's all right. Just go back to the beginning of the show. The shows are always there for you, and you can listen to two great guests. Thank you to Sara Franco, and thank you to Dr. Charles Willey. We're wrapping up with Persevering in the Present. It's day 16 of 100 Days to Freedom, and this one's from depression. He's getting a phone call.
Sorry.
They want you to be their doctor. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. Revelation, go take that call. Revelation 21:4. At times, we all have difficult experiences that never seem to end. Despite our best plans, we are unable to change paths and improve our circumstances, which leaves us frustrated. This feels especially poignant for those of us who struggle with depression. You know, we've talked more and more about mental health, and it's a good thing that more of you are finding your voice. Everyone's susceptible to distress. We live in a fallen world where our bodies are not invincible. Some distress lasts only a short period. We follow the prescription and we are cured. Other illnesses, they don't go away. We are left with feelings of fear and anxiety and maybe sadness about the future. Living with a chronic distress state can be overwhelming. We might be tempted to substitute thriving for existing. The truth is, we might not be healed on this side of heaven, but the book of Revelation gives a glimpse of what life will be like after we die. A day's coming when our loving Father will make all things right, and our tears will stop because there will be no more pain. The sadness that hung over us for a time will be no more. In this life, we might never understand the why behind our suffering, but we should never forget, come on back, we serve a God whose thoughts and ways are above ours. His vision and his plan for us is broader than our limited view and comprehension. Though our eyes might be looking expectantly to the blessings of the future, and I do hope you see your blessings, we can also find joy and peace in the present, resting in the knowledge that our all-knowing and compassionate Father is right here with us. Dylan Burrows said, God is never late and rarely early. He is always exactly right on time. And what is that? His time. I love that one. John Piper said, to wait on God means to pause and soberly consider our own inadequacy and the Lord's all-sufficiency, and to seek counsel and help from the Lord, and to hope in him. The folly of not waiting for God is that we forfeit the blessing of having God work for us. So here's today's prayer. Lord, it's hard to understand why life happens the way it does, and while I don't understand everything, I do understand that when you come again, everything will be made right and whole, including me. Thank you for that promise. Amen to that. I like that. That's a very good one. Let's be more present. Let's be more focused and trying to, as much as we can, make the depression less and less and less. A lot of people saying thank you for the show. Enjoy the day. Love it. What am I reading? I'm reading 100 Days to Freedom. It is from our friend Stephen Arterburn. There are about 5 or 6 of these that we have. But yeah, look into those. Great information. Have a great day. Have a great day to all of you. Thank you for the show. And a lot of people are saying that they're brand new and they love it. Happy New Year, Cindy. It's going to be a far better year than last, and praying without no tears. I like that as well. So, congratulations one more time to our big winners, Sandra Thomason and Karen Garner. Thank you for being a part of the show. Dr. Charles Willey, thank you for your insightful message today. Resolution from the 13 Virtues from Benjamin Franklin. And next week is order.
Order.
Does that have to do with organization?
Yes.
Oh, I need that one. I can't wait for next week. That's one of my resolutions, is to be more organized, and I try to get to stick with it this time. Well, Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
And by the way, did you all see his tie? Because he picked the word liberty, and that one says, give me liberty.
Give me liberty or give me death.
Yes, I love it. He's got the coolest ties.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, thank you so much. If you are carrying over from last year, thank you for being a part of 23 and 24. Huge things to come and shows on the road. If you'd like for me to come to your business, well, that's what I'm going to start doing on some Thursdays. Mobile Monica at your business, bringing the show to you. Thank you to each and every one of you. Not one thing has changed on this show, and that has to do with what we say. The final message is go out, believe in yourself, non-judgmental, my word for the day, right? Be anything you want to be, but before you're anything, be kind. God bless you all.